morning, everybody. I declare the meeting of the Governance Committee open for today. Run through the normal housekeeping matters beforehand. We have some apologies. We have apologies from Councillor Ackland, Councillor Davey, Councillor Matheson and Councillor Noonan for lateness. She's just suffered a flood at her home, so she's waiting for the tradesman to arrive and clear it up, but she will be here, but she's going to be late. We have a quorum, I believe. 7, yes. We do have a quorum. Just a reminder that we're live streaming, which is on now, and we're away. So the community of Nelson, the residents of Nelson, can have much pleasure in watching what we do today, as they do in all our meetings, I'm sure. Some, anyway. Welcome to our youth councillors. Jenna Stella, nice to see you again, Jenna, and Daniel. Good to see you back again, Daniel. On our business today, we have no change to the business as on the agenda. However, at morning tea, we are going to be joined by Sharon Maguire, who's stepping down as a director of tourism now from Tasman Limited, and there's an opportunity for us as a council through this committee to thank her for all the hard work that she has done for the council and for the city. So that's planned to be around about 10:30. Should the meeting's business not be transacted before then, which would be quite uncommon. So we've had those 3 apologies and the extra one for lateness from Councillor Noonan. Would someone like to move that those apologies be sustained? It's been moved by Councillor Noonan, seconded by Mr. Peters. All those in favour, please say aye. Heads, carried. Public forum. I had suspected there might be some people along today. I've had indications that there is a move from some people to come and talk to council about the special housing areas. So I expect that that's more likely to happen at council agenda. Whereas I did think there were some indications that they might be here this morning, but they're not. So item number 5 is the confirmation of the minutes of an extraordinary meeting on the 26th of May. The minutes have been circulated. Someone move that be approved as a true and correct record? Been moved by Councillor Fulton. Do I have a seconder? Councillor McGurk. No corrections or additions? No other points being raised? I'll put it that those minutes be confirmed as a true and correct record. All in favour, please say aye. Against, no, carried. There is no status report today. There's just one item from myself as chairman that relates to the Nelson Cycle Lift Society. It's just a report on where things are in relation to that. I'll just recap. In May of this year, as part of the annual plan 2016-17 decisions, council allocated funding to that Nelson Cycle Lift Society. The first group of funding of $50,000 was for employment of a project manager and for advice on the economic contribution of a gondola to mountain biking in the city. This funding was contingent on the Governance Committee approving a project plan at today's meeting. A meeting has since been organised on the 20th of July with the Society and mountain bike and tourism representatives to explore the strategic links between the groups. It was felt it would be better to wait for this meeting to take place before finalising the project plan. As a result, the project plan will now come to the Governance Committee meeting in August 2016. Are there any questions? Which I will refer to Mr. Ward. There are none. I'll move that the Chairman's report be received. I can second it. Councillor Fulton. All in favour, please say aye. Item 8 is the Health and Safety Quarterly Report. It's on pages 18 to 29. Welcome, Nikki.
Thank you. Through the chair, first off I'd like to introduce Bryony Chester, who's our Health and Safety Advisor, and hopefully if you have any detailed questions she may be able to answer them better than I can. So this is a Health and Safety Quarterly Report up to the 30th of June. It gives a bit of a background on the data for the June quarter compared to the March quarter, as well as giving the committee an update on the health and safety work program and how we're progressing with that. So happy to take any questions or comments.
Right, the reports been circulated and read. Any questions? Councillor Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of questions I've got. I'm just wondering, page paragraph 5.10.2 talks about risk assessment of council spaces that are open to the public for highest priority. Just tell us what stage you're at with that, in terms of highlights a couple of incidents between patrons of the library and confrontation with officers dealing with the public away from the registers. Just wondering how far the scope is and what stage you're at in terms of identifying council spaces. Theoretically, that could involve the city. People don't work this.
Through the chair, I think this is basically saying that we're really prioritising the spaces that we should be looking at, and they're primarily around the customer service centre and the libraries. That seems to be the spaces where we are having issues, and spaces that are, but I mean, you know, it could end up being Saxon Stadium and things like that, but our highest priority at the moment is where we have large number of staff, like the customer service centres and libraries.
A couple of subsequent questions I've got is, no, in the media was the first I've heard about the camera trial involving bucket units. Just a bit more detail about how that assessment will carry out.
Through the chair, it is a trial. So basically, we've done a risk assessment of the people that are in confrontational positions, and so it's EIL. EIL are actually a contractor, and they have chosen to trial the cameras.
And the third question I've got is just a little bit more about the business leaders' health and safety portal. Talk a little bit more about that. It says develop and agree a regional approach. Is it based on common standards, common health and safety standards, and looking for best practice, or carrying out a gap analysis?
Through the chair, that's what's been explored at the moment with the other business leaders. I think ideally that we will develop a regional standard, and that basically it's almost potentially there could be a passport, that there's a certain standard that everyone is adhering to, but primarily this grouping is to try and lift everyone within the region up to a higher standard. So I think there's still some progress to be made there in terms of whether or not something tangible like a passport comes out of it.
Any further questions? I had a question relative to section 5.10.1 of the report, the wellness team and the caring council that's coming through showing on this. I guess we're primarily focusing on work-related wellness, and thinking about that, I just wonder, is there any random testing done of substance abuse?
Through the chair, the wellness program is really to address it is health and safety, and the wellness stream is really around the health of our staff. We do not do any random drug testing. We are looking to introduce a drug and alcohol policy probably over the next year as part of the work program, but obviously you could not do random testing without having that policy in place.
Thank you.
Just a supplementary comment on that. I was very, very pleased to see this report and wrote across the top of it, fabulous. It's great to see progress in this area and these initiatives. So I particularly circled the wellness section as well. I think it's a fabulous piece to add to it, and my sort of knowledge of this area is from the wellness forums that I've been to, is that 3 in 10 people in the workplace will suffer some sort of mental health issue during a year. Now, if you extrapolate that across our organisation, you're looking at somewhere between 60 and 70 employees, which this will apply to in one way, shape or form. So it's really, really important that it comes in and that it's there and that it's effective in my view. So, fabulous.
Very good, Mr. Murray. So I'll call for someone to move that the quarterly report and its attachments be received. It's been moved by Councillor Fulton. It's been seconded by Mr. Peters first. Is there any discussion? I'm very happy to support this report being received. I think it's comprehensive and it's showing that we are complying with the requirements of legislation, and as I indicated before, I believe we are indicating that we are a hearing council. So if there's any further comments? It's been moved by Councillor McGirt. It's already been moved and seconded, hasn't it? It's been moved and seconded. I'll put it all in favour, please say aye. Ah, sorry, Councillor Noonan, welcome along.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I had a bit of flood damage overnight.
You
So.
haven't got too much damage at home.
It's just a matter of finding out where it came from. It's one of those awful ones. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Look, when I was reading this, I thought I got to the employment wellness as well, and I'm really pleased that we are looking at this and including this as take the clock back about 20 years. You probably didn't even talk about stress, fatigue, bullying, anything to do with work apart from work. And I think we've come a long way, and I think we've got a lot further to go. But the conversations that you have with people outside this organisation are often work-related stress, and it's something that we don't talk about enough. And I think that more than happy for this to be in here, and I think it's an important part of your work culture. If you're not happy at work, your life can be awful. So I'm really pleased, particularly to see that in there. Thank you.
No. It's carried. Item number 9 is Service Level Review Quarterly Progress Report. Right, it's on pages 30 to 44. So welcome, Gabrielle and Peter. It's your report. Are there any corrections or additions, changes?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No, there are no amendments to the report. I'll take it as read and happy to answer any questions. I've brought Mr. Anderson with me if you've got any detailed questions around some of the service level review content.
Okay, so there's nothing else you want to indicate, convey to us in presenting the report? What's in it?
Well, it might be helpful to say that I feel confident that we're on track, and to let you know that the staff report that through this process that they find value in the process, and I think that's very encouraging because we're going to have to embed this process across council through future years. So it's very encouraging that the staff are finding it a useful and valuable process to undertake.
I've got a question from Councillor Noonan.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just regarding on page 38, regarding the arrangements with 4 of the facilities run by one of our contractors, that's expired, and I see at the end of the report on page 44 the same with the swimming pool is expired. The contract with the swimming pool operators has expired, so there's no detail as to what happened after the 30th of June. I presume they're all still working.
Through the chair, correct, the contracts have been extended through to the end of this year with regards to the community facilities and with the swimming pools through to when Maley Pool closes, to allow us an opportunity in light of this review to put new documents together in that.
So
So you've aligned them with I see that the one on page 38, Trafalgar Centre has been extended, so they're all going to be due in December.
Through the chair, yes.
You're going to be here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. You partially answered the question that I had, I think, in your comment about staff finding it a useful process. My question was, has the process to date resulted in any changes in the way that you might go about contracting, reviewing contracting, or maintaining, managing projects in the future?
Through the chair, we've completed 8 reviews so far, if you count the 4 that are before you today. Some have come up through council in the form of a report where there's been a larger body of work, for instance the crematorium, but the majority at this point, in this early phase, have maintained status quo. However, saying that, in the review process, because there's a magnifying glass put on the service at that time, that there have been small operational changes to support efficiency made along the way.
Thank you. Through the chair. I suppose it's more of a question to help me with the understanding of the delegations that are running here. And if I pick on, say, page 31, 5.3, we've got a table where we've got the 4 that's been reviewed and the conclusions reached. And so we've got, say, rural fire, which is status quo. Well, they're all status quo, but continue with the status quo. Is that decision to remain with the status quo, is that a management total decision, or does the governance of the organisation have a say on that? And if they do, how do they? Or is it management decides, yep, status quo, that's what we're doing, full stop, end of story, and thanks very much for letting me know?
So through the chair, I think where the status quo is in place, that is what council has agreed through the long-term plan and annual planning process. If there were any significant change in the mechanism of delivery, which looked different to what council had signed off previously, then that would come back to the government's table depending on the level of the contract.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Look, I had a very similar question to Mr. Murray, and I recall an earlier resolution of this committee, or perhaps of council, in relation to service level reviews. And again, I wonder if we could just see what that resolution said, because I had the same question as to, we're receiving a report today, but what if the governance arm of council says, well, actually, we do want to look at an alternative method of delivery in terms of service level, in terms of delivery model. So I'm just wondering if we could locate that earlier resolution. Apologies, I should have found that before the meeting, but I couldn't locate it on my iPad. Just so that I have the context for today's report.
Well, I think we're just going to take a short break and adjourn and see if we can find it. Adjourn for a few minutes. session. And on the overhead you'll see the resolution of council, current policy. Mr. Ward is going to outline that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I think there are two questions in here. One is over the Section 17A reviews that we are required to do under the Local Government Act, and that is once you have set a service, what is the most efficient way of delivering it? And generally that sets limits. So the governance group sets what services we deliver, and those levels of service are set through the asset and the activity management plans. So there is a process through, as the committees view the activity and asset management plans, we look at the levels of service that council provides to its community in there. Once the governors have set what activities we should be delivering and budget for delivery of those services, management then looks at what's the most cost-effective and efficient way of delivering the services that have been agreed to. And so if we look at the recommendation up there, the final part of that is that Governance Committee maintains oversight of service level reviews. That is what this process and the report that is in front of you today is actually doing, is bringing up as staff go through each of the agreements and the delivery mechanisms we have in delivering the activities that council has agreed to. We will bring those up to you to show that we are actually delivering things in the most effective way against the assessment of the Section 17A report. If the committee believed that staff had wanted staff to look again at a particular option, or felt that staff had missed a particular option, then we would be happy to take those comments away and represent Section 17A review to the Governance Committee in the future once we'd assessed whether there was a better and more efficient and effective way of doing things.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. I think that covers it well and shows the ability is there for governments to review and ask for a further review as necessary. Your worship.
Just a supplementary question. Thank you very much for bringing up the resolution. Just in terms of the second clause there, which relates to officers preparing draft criteria, have the draft criteria been presented? I think they've already been presented to the committee, and that's what we're looking at as we go through these documents. So just in relation to that, Mr. Chair, one of the issues that I am interested in looking at, and I've had some discussion already with Mr. Ward, so this won't come as any surprise to him, is in terms of how we contract with the community in relation to opportunities for social enterprise. And we've had some, we had a representative from Akina visiting council this week and working with community organisations. As we go through the process, and I'm particularly interested as we get to the contract renewals at the end of the year, I am very interested in looking at whether we can and whether it is appropriate for us to take a social enterprise model into the draft criteria that we use for engaging and entering into contracts. So what I'm signalling to, and I think I may have raised this already through this process, is that I really would like us to look at that and consider that in terms of our draft criteria. Because if I think about what council is, so for me, if I think about what we are, really I would like us to operate as a social enterprise in that the ratepayer funding that we receive is applied back into this community to ensure that we have social benefits from the work that we do. So we're taking in that commercial model but also looking for opportunities for social benefit. And if I was to look at some of these contracts, I would be saying, are there opportunities in here to award these contracts in such a way that the profit end of the exercise actually is delivered back into this community, whether it is through additional services that organisations can apply, through job creation and other methods. It's not something that we can work through today, but I actually would like to do some work on this. Whether it can come through to the next governance committee meeting, I'm not sure. That may be a little bit early, so maybe after that.
through the chair, thank you to the Mayor, because I did have a heads up on this. I've discussed with Mr. Anderson in terms of the process for whether there is scope within the contracting process for us to include some criteria. I think we need to review whether we've just lined up with our procurement policy, and I'm also hearing that we need to look at whether the Section 17A review itself specifically needs to consider a social good factor. I think it would be helpful if so there's a couple of things. There's a bigger piece of work that needs to be done in considering those. And if this committee felt that that was something they wanted us to do, I think it would be helpful to have a resolution to review the criteria for the Section 17A reviews.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. I think that the process then, if the committee so decides, it can be on the status report and we'll keep track of where it's got to. So any further?
So perhaps, sorry, ma'am, Mr. Chair, then perhaps I could just test the meeting to say, and I'm not sure how much the members of the committee know about social enterprise, as to whether it might be useful, whether they're ready to say yes, they would like the officers to do some looking at this, or whether it would be helpful for us to have a workshop session around what is social enterprise and how we could incorporate the principles of some of the work that we do.
Sure, I was happy to follow the procedure of receiving this report and then consider principles of whether we do it either by way of a motion or by way of yes, either way, a motion either to us directly for a report or a motion to call for a workshop. So you'll like to move that? Yeah, I'll take it now. Pardon?
Apologies, Mr. Chair, I'll work on some words and come back to you.
Thank you. Right, I had next speaking of order, Councillor Burke.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. I suppose the question I've got is it really flows on from what Mr. Murray and the Worship have said about talking of governments, but thinking in terms of the living wage movement, and if we're looking at contracting of services to council in terms of our cleaning and maintenance services, it's probably require a sort of a government's decision, and probably at the council level, whether that's a view that we might want to consider going forward. So that would be outside. That would be something that we can think about probably, like what the Mayor said in terms of social enterprise. If we look at the outcomes in terms of 2060, our contribution to a healthy, there's the exact words here, a healthy lifestyle supported by the opportunity to be active and participate in the community, and people living on a reasonable income is probably part of that. And I think it's probably a role for the council if we're going to contract the services. Those who are traditionally overpaid, there's probably a case there that we actually become an employer of choice, certainly while they're working on our premises. So just wondering if there's some advice from the officers, what would be the best way of doing that?
Through the chair, I think that's a far greater discussion than we're having today, and I would be concerned over understanding the significance of that decision if council were to take it on our budgeting processes, because it could actually have quite a significant implication. I think it's something the community would want to have some say on as well, and maybe that discussion should take place as part of an annual plan or a long-term planning process.
Are there any further comments, questions? Daniel.
Cheers. Through the chair, I just have a question regarding the costs of the polls on page 43. I'm wondering why there's a big spike on the costs in the matrix in 2014-15.
Through the chair, thank you for that question. I don't have the exact answer as to why there'd be a spike, but it is reactive work in general, so it could relate to problems that may have
question following on from Councillor McGurk's interest in the living wage. How would we, if we were of the mind to review that during the annual plan process, would you want a resolution today, or how would we bring that into the annual plan process?
So we run through a process through the chair where staff ask through the various workshops that we have through developing the annual plan whether there's anything in that isn't currently in the long-term plan, bearing in mind that the annual plan is an exception document. If there's any significant change that's flagged through that workshop process, the council would have an opportunity to
So you want us to remember?
I'm happy to move that we received a report noting that there's a further, I've got a further resolution, consequential motion. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I will ask if Mr. Wood and Ms. McLean just do just apologies. Could cast their eye over that to make sure that that is appropriate language for a motion.
So the mayor's moved and seconded by Councillor Fulton that officers consider opportunities to incorporate social enterprise principles in council procurement policy in section 17A reviews and report back to the governance committee via a workshop. All clear? Any?
Yes, just a quick point of clarification. I don't understand what social enterprise principles are, so apologies for that. I'll just put that on the table. So I'm not sure if your workshop in that resolution is actually a workshop on what is social enterprise principles, or whether it's a workshop on how it's being incorporated into the reviews. I think they're probably two different things.
I think, through you, Mr. Chair, I think Mr. Murray's quite right in we could probably improve this a little bit to explore. Officers consider opportunity to explore social enterprise principles in relation to council's procurement policy in section 17A reviews and report back to the government committee via a workshop in the first instance, or arrange a workshop, or also arrange a workshop. I think, Mr. Murray, and through you, Mr. Chair, apologies for this, is that I think there is a need to have a discussion around this at a governance level, so that we can consider whether this is something that is relevant and we wish to officers to really work on in the first instance. And that's the intent of this, is to actually have some governance discussion informed by the officers who have got some knowledge on terms of social enterprise.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm comfortable with the process, particularly with the workshop and the as a proceeding function to take place. Councillor Rainey.
A question: wouldn't council staff do this anyway, as a matter of course, when considering section 17A review?
So through the chair, yes and no. I guess and I'm sorry for being difficult, but the way that our procurement and section 17A review process is set up is to ensure that we're delivering the services that we've said that we're going to deliver, and to do it as efficiently and effectively as we can. Where social enterprises can bid for contracts, but they're being judged on the basis of their economic, the financial. So they would be competing on a like basis with the commercial sector. I think where the mayor's thinking maybe going is around, actually, if you have a social enterprise that's delivering, say, a pools contract, there are opportunities for the profits that are made from that contract by the social enterprise to actually add value in other social well-being areas. So, it may be through offering free or subsidised swim lessons to people that wouldn't otherwise. So that there's social enterprises offer something additional which can't necessarily be quantified in financial terms, and that's the council would need to signal that it would want to take a more holistic approach to contracting if it were to have some criteria against social enterprise.
It will come under review by this through the status report. Are there any further questions, comments, discussion? The motion's there, been moved and seconded. No further discussion, all in favour please say aye. Against no, carried. Thank you. Item number 10, pages 45 to 46. Mr. Murray, your supplementary.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, this meeting on the 26th of May was really just called so that Beth Car Park could be referred to the Governance Committee for further consideration, and it reflects that delegate, or it's not a delegation up, but that change. So that's all that's on the agenda. Nothing more to say really.
We've all been through that all the way since. So it's been moved by the chair of the commercial subcommittee, Mr. Murray. Do I have a second? Councillor Newman is seconded. All in favour please say aye. Against no, carried. Pages 47 to 54. Mr. Peters, your committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This relates to meeting of the Audit, Risk and Finance Subcommittee on the 23rd of June this year. I would first be recommending the unconfirmed minutes of that meeting be received.
Second by Mr. Murray. Minutes have been circulated. Any questions? So I have a question on writing out your chairman's report.
In relation to the
Discussion with council officers regarding the process.
the review of the committee, subcommittee you're talking
The charter.
the charter. Yes, some work is being done behind in terms of establishing what form that review might take, and I would anticipate that by the next term
In August. Any further questions? On page 51, I would just ask Mr. Ward to give us a feedback on the resolution on page 51 related to fair work.
Through the chair, we're just simply receiving the minutes at this stage. We shouldn't necessarily be having questions on the content. Those matters will come back through the status report. The status report of the Board of Risk and Finance.
Any further questions? Call for a mover. It's been moved by Councillor Burke. It's been seconded by the chair, Mr. Peters. We already moved it. Sorry. Mr. Peters. Moved by Mr. Peters. Seconded by Councillor Burke. Mr. Murray. I'll put that. All in favour, please say aye. Against? It's carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Discussion during that meeting included the receipt of the internal audit plan, and the recommendation is made to Governance Committee and Council under the internal audit plan be approved, and let it be noted there will be unbudgeted expenditure required, which will be reported for approval to through the analysis of the internal audit plan requiring some additional resource to effect its work plan, was supported by the subcommittee. I'm happy to move these recommendations of this go to governance committee, this committee and to council.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second now? Councillor Good. Is there any discussion relating to the work plan? There's none. All in favour, please say aye. Against? No. Carried.
Further piece of business transacted in committee subcommittee was the procurement policy received further revision. This follows the appointment of somebody in charge of the procurement area, and the subcommittee received the revised procurement policy, agreed with the suggested changes, and was recommended to governance committee and council that this revised procurement policy be adopted. I'm happy to move.
So moved. Do we have a second now? Mr. McGee? No discussion? I'll put it all in favour, please say aye. Against? No. There's none. Carried.
There were then two other matters discussed by the subcommittee which related to carry forwards of items from this financial year to next financial year. These were in order to keep capital projects and operating expenditure underway, happening across the transition of the 2 years, and is recommended to governance committee and council. The first one related to capital, continuing work on the capital projects within the 15-16 group budgets. Noting the final report from the carry forwards will come to the governance committee meeting on the 25th of August. Coming to the governance committee, instead of coming back to the subcommittee, allowed for the time of the report to be prepared. It could not be done in time to come back to the subcommittee. So the suggestion is that it come to this committee in August. I'm happy to move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. It's been moved. It's been seconded again by Mr. Good. Any discussion? There's none. All in favour, please say aye. Against? No. Carried.
And then a similar recommendation relating to the operating projects, which again will come to this committee on the 25th of August. And again, I'm happy to move that recommendation be made to governance committee and to council.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Mr. Murray, you wish to second? Wish to speak to you? Anything you don't? There is no further discussion. I'll put this one. All in favour, please say aye. Against? No. Carried. Unanimously. Thank you. Leading now to item number 12, Commercial Subcommittee. It's a resolution recommendation from the Commercial Subcommittee. Mr. Murray.
Thank you, through the chair. This is the draft minutes of the meeting that we held on the 23rd of June 2016. Primarily there were two matters for consideration in that meeting. The first matter was the Haven Precinct, and it was really an update and progress report on the Haven Precinct project itself. And the committee discussed where that was at, with a view to moving it along to design concept and then further consultation once we get a bit more down on paper with stakeholders and the timetable for that. So we received the report. We had a look at the goals and the visions, which really come out of the council workshop that was held earlier on the matter around the precinct. And then we talked about engaging a consultant to do the, well, not a particular one, but getting one to do the design concept and the timeline, and we approved the business case, which I believe are all recommendations for this committee to approve. And the second matter that we discussed was the Ridgeways joint venture, and that was a resolution to refer the matter here to the governance committee to this meeting today, and that is indeed on the agenda today for discussion and public excluded. So that's the meeting.
Thank you very much, Mr. Murray. So, Mr. Murray, you'll move to the 30 minutes on that 23rd June date we were saying. Yes, after the second. Mr. Raymond, Councillor Raymond.
I think you were there.
Yeah, Mr. Peters. So, open for discussion.
discussion on the Haven Precinct project.
Just receiving the report, mate.
Okay.
So I'll put it again, all in favour, please say aye. Please no, carried. Mr. Murray?
Yes, I'm happy to move the 4 resolutions as one, if that's appropriate, through the chair.
Second by Councillor Newman. It's open for discussion. Councillor Raynor.
I referred to the document, which was actually an attachment in the House Group.
What page are you referring to?
Well, it was an attached business case. It wasn't in that genus an attachment. So, and in particular, I wanted to talk about the stakeholders, as listed when I can find them, on pages 5 and 6 of the business case. And I was wondering why there was not particular reference to the Boathouse Society. And I understand it's not within the site, so to speak, but it's immediately adjacent to the yacht club. And I was just wondering whether the Boathouse Society could be identified separately, as opposed to just included in local businesses. Because I do think that they would be, whatever happens down there, they would be impacted. So I would like to get some clarification on that.
Yes, Martin.
Through you, the Chair. Councillor, I'm happy to include the boathouse. We had a this is not full and exhaustive list of the stakeholders at the point in time, so I'm happy to ensure that gets added to the list as a specific item.
With a comment, Mr. Chair. The reason that I say that is because those businesses or groups who have activity over the water are extremely rare. There's only a few of them. There's the yacht club, the boathouse, and the boat shed restaurant, and that is unusual. Unusual businesses for that reason. And whatever we do around the Haven Precinct is going to impact on them, I would have thought, extremely heavily. So I think that they need to be considered in a distinct way, separate to just any other business down there. So that's why I brought up. I would also urge you to include the boat shed restaurant as part of that consideration. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just think for tidiness, I'm aware that the boathouse has a membership, and I just would want to make sure that no one sitting around this table is a member of the boathouse.
Absolutely, I'm happy to indicate that I am a member of the boathouse, but I'm not. This is consideration of the scope of a planning document that's going to come out. We're not actually talking about the findings of that or discussing the actual present project. I'm just talking about the scope.
So if I can be helpful through the Chair, Mr. Brown is the project manager for the Haven Precinct project. He is well aware that he needs to consult with all stakeholders that are involved or potentially have an interest in what's happening in that space, and he will consult with all relevant stakeholders through the process.
And that was my understanding, Mr. Ward, as well. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I just wonder if you'd take a brief adjournment.
Members, I would call the meeting back into session. It's very important as we carry out our roles as elected members of this council that we maintain the interest register and that we ensure that it is kept up to date, and also that we are very careful about partaking in and being involved in matters that as a councillor we have an interest greater than the public at large in this. In this instance, the member councillor only didn't withdraw from the table. The matters that he was raising related to stakeholders. I'm comfortable that the staff have taken on board, as they would normally whether he has spoken or not. But those stakeholders should be involved. So I'm going to move on from this matter, and it's been moved and seconded. Your worship.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's really important that the boathouse and the businesses actually in this area are included in this discussion. And what I'm concerned about is that perhaps the scope of this isn't quite as much as it needs to be in terms of the geographic area. So one of the, I don't want to make the Haven precinct bigger than the NPR exercise, but it does need, when you're looking at precinct planning, you do need to think about what you adjoin to. So in this case, if it stops at the yacht club, I think that's probably an artificial boundary, and it needs to be, if we're thinking about this, we need to make sure that when we're engaging with people with an interest, that we actually think about what's adjoining the area, and that will go down to the Harbour Lights restaurant, the restaurants that are down there in that precinct as well, because essentially they are bringing public to the area for to enjoy that coastal space. So I just would like that the officers to take that on board. The other aspect that I did, and you'll note that as I had this noted I see in the minutes that I abstained from voting, that's simply because the document was tabled on the day and I had no opportunity to read it before you got to the voting. I have had an opportunity to go through it. I would just like to reinforce the importance, and I may, when this comes up to council, may actually look to include a clause in the resolution. It is really important to me that, and actually I think not just to me, actually to the people of New Zealand, having been out to the Awaroa Beach handing back on the weekend, which was an amazing occasion, that the principle of public access to the coastal environment is absolutely embedded in the development that we do around the Haven precinct. Access for the public to the coastline, rather than privatisation of the coastline, to me is critically important as part of this exercise. So I do want that to be a principle that sits inside this Haven precinct development. I mean, we should be, as a community, as visitors to our region, be able to access as much of that area as we can. At the moment, there are quite reasonable stretches of this that are privatised or not open to the public. Now, some of those areas for very legitimate reasons. When it comes to the port area, there is this port security area is there for customs biosecurity purposes, and that line needs to be there. And so I can understand that that takes precedence to public access. But as we come further around, we just need to be mindful of the fact that every time you take a piece of coastline out and you privatise it, you disenfranchise, in my view, the public of New Zealand. And I think I saw the public of New Zealand and actually respond to that through the actions that they took when they decided that actually they did want to restore part of Awaroa to the public and it becomes a conservation estate. Now you might think that that is drawing a very long and thin line between different activities, but when you think about Nelson as a city that is beside the sea, every opportunity that we can create for people to interact with the coastal environment is beneficial, and I think that is really part of the principle that sits behind urban planning and development, 2060 principles, the Resource Management Act and everything else. So I am spending a bit of time on this, but as you know, and I've spoken about this before, this is something that is in terms of principles, is very, very important to me, that out of this exercise, the people of Nelson feel like this is their place. not a set of private activities.
Thank you, Your Worship. I don't think anyone could disagree with the overall philosophy that you're expressing in relation to the freedoms that we have in this country and the expectations that we have for access to our coastlines and our rivers.
Yeah, can we please stick to the recommendations that are in front of us instead
Yes,
of
we are.
carrying on with
Councillor Lennon.
speech?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Look, I note there is a note at the end of that particular recommendation that an updated Haven Precinct business case has been put on the Google Drive. Have there been some major changes to that, or is it just minor adjustments?
Mr. Ward. Martin.
Through the chair, the key change was around the comments made of the visions and goals around, again, that coastal environment and access to it. So that was the key change that was made in that amendment.
Mr. Chair, I'll do this in public. I'll just declare an interest in relation to